Shut the fuck up!
But first, let me take a selfie.
What's up, YouTube? Episode number 4. Hey guys, so today I wanted to give you guys some opinions of the top 5 things that I think are most important as being a new motorcycle rider. And we'll go over each one of those things, not too much in depth, but I'll give you my opinions, I'll give you my thoughts on them. So, you might be asking yourself, yo, Psycho, what you think? What do you think I should do as a new rider? Well, thing the first, bing! Thing the first, I think most importantly, is picking out a bike that's right for you, right? So, a lot of people have posted videos and there's a fucking wealth of input out there as far as opinions on what a good starter bike is. In my opinion, it used to be the Ninja 250 / Ninja 300. Any of those smaller bikes are, in my opinion, going to be the more better choices for you guys. But then I started thinking about it, having, you know, been on a 600 for so long now, that I really honestly think that a 300 or a 250 is not your best solution as a beginner bike. Given those bikes are great bikes, they're very fun, they're very lenient on what you can do with them. Leaning them is not anywhere near as the same as a 600, because with a 600 your bike tends to drop a lot quicker on a 250 300 than with a 600. A 600 makes you work into that turn, right? But apart from that, I think the problem with like a 250 300 compared to starting out on a 600 is you don't have that level of comfort to where you feel safe. And what I mean by this is, if you're planning on going on the freeway, a Ninja 250 or a Ninja 300 will top out at 90 miles an hour, maybe on a good day. You don't really have any overtaking power on those bikes, and if you're put in a situation where you're being caged, or you're in a situation that is not preferable, I guess you could say, then you're going to want to get the fuck out of that situation, right? But on a 250 300, you don't really have that option to just open it up and get the fuck out, right? So that's one of my main reasons in saying that, you know, a 250 or 300 isn't your best solution as a starter bike. But I could be wrong. I very well will be wrong. My preference, though, as far as a starter bike and what I recommend is probably a 600 or a cruiser or something similar to that. A lot of bike shops these days, they have a dedicated like riding day where you can go and you can kind of test out bikes and you can see what you like and what you're comfortable with. Check out one of those, see what you like, see how they feel, and then kind of go from there and kind of pick for yourself. I mean, don't get me wrong, like I said, a 250 300 is such a good starter bike, but you lack a lot of those things as far as, I want to say, survivability, right? Like if you're put in that situation where you're being caged or kind of cornered, you don't have that overtaking power to get the fuck out of that situation. 250s don't really just have, they don't have that torque, it's not there. Aside from that, point number 2, get fucking good gear. Oh my god, I cannot stress that enough. I've seen so many riders who will go to like a Psyko gear or something and they'll pick up I don't know, and I'm not, don't get me wrong, I am not knocking Built as a brand. It's just, it's one of those, it's that old adage, you kind of get what you pay for, right? So if you're paying $60 for a helmet, you gotta think to yourself, okay, what are the standards on safety for that helmet? I mean, yeah, they might pass the Dot and Snell certifications, but how safe are they really, right? Like, my helmet costs about $250. It's a Scorpion XO R710, and even then, like, it's not like a $400 or $500 helmet. And yes, I still get worried sometimes that it's not up to par with the safety that I feel it should be. But I mean, it's again not a $50 helmet, right? So there's that. Helmet, gloves, and helmet, gloves, and leathers. So those are the 3 things you want to have. Given I'm wearing a fucking sweater because I'm a fucking squid, and yeah, I don't have a jacket on today because I actually don't have a jacket. It's one of the things that I still need to get. Oh, I just stalled my bike out. I've been having issues with my gears are all fucked up. I was riding yesterday and I was in gear and I went down to neutral and the bike slipped into first. It was the weirdest fucking thing. Like I've never really had any issues with my bikes, but this one, it's a good strong bike, but at the same time I'm just having issues with it, man. Like just slipping in and out of gear. It's kind of fucking sketchy. But back to the conversation at hand. Gloves, helmet, and leathers. So a jacket, right? Those are the things you want to have as a first-time rider. Don't get some cheap, you know, knockoff gloves that are like 30, 40 bucks. Spend at least $100 on a nice set of Alpine Stars or Dynace gloves. Something that's full leather. Because if you're going on the freeway and you go down, those gloves are gonna fucking shred. My gloves are, they're Icons, but they're more of like a stunt glove. So they're super flexible, they're a mesh, they're very breathable. But I know on the freeway or even on the road, if I were to go down at like 45, these gloves would fucking shred and they would offer no protection. But I feel I'm not safe enough, or I am safe enough to where I'm prepared for the worst, right? I mean, I know my limits, which is something that I'm gonna actually talk about as one of the other points. I think it's actually the next point coming up. But I feel safe enough and I ride safe enough and I'm always prepared and aware of what's going on around me that I don't feel that I would shred these gloves too bad. I mean, I would shred them for sure, but how bad I shred them is really the question. So that brings us to our next point. Point number 3. Know your limitations. So what do I mean by know your limitations? By the way, oh shit, I don't want to ride by this fucking cop. Because I have no mirrors, no turn signals, and no fucking pipe. Shit, what do I do? What do I do? Ugh. I think I could just slip by him. Let's just do this. I do not want to deal with that today. So I like this is completely off topic, but this bike has no mirrors, no turn signals, and it has no fucking pipe. Like, it doesn't have a can. So I'm always concernicus that a cop is gonna fucking pull me over, especially a motorcycle cop. They're the fucking worst. So I'm just gonna kind of skip him. And it's funny because every fucking day on that road, there's always a motorcycle cop on that road just fucking slaying out tickets like a madman. So we're just gonna skip that and we're gonna take a different route. But back to the lecture at hand. Okay, so know your limits, right? As a new rider, you're gonna want to be very conscious and very concerned about what you're doing on the road. You're gonna want to always be paying attention. You don't want to ride outside your means. I know that sounds a little strange, but I say that with a very heartfelt. What the fuck is this guy doing? I say that with very heartfelt sincerity. Dude, fuck off. I forgot what I was saying, but I'm pretty sure it has the assumption. I'm assuming it has something to do with oh, now I remember. Whew. Shit, I have really bad ADHD and I forget what I'm fucking saying. So when you're riding outside your means, you're technically not being as safe as you can be. I know people fucking wild out and they get fucking nuts on the road. They speed, they split lanes at an unsafe speed. I've been guilty of that in the past, and I fully take responsibility for that. Dude, I'm in 6th gear already? But as a new rider, you're gonna wanna try to keep that level way down, right? That level of excitement, wanting to open it up and, you know, do wheelies or do any kind of stunning. Like, you want to make sure that you're keeping yourself in a comfort zone that's comparable to how you ride as a new rider, right? So what does that mean in terms of, what does that mean? I don't think the street goes through. Nope, it certainly does not. Shit! I'm lost! Lost in space again. But I think what you want to do is you want to ride kind of within like what you're comfortable with, right? So if you don't feel comfortable, if you don't feel comfortable riding at 70, 80, 90 miles an hour, don't ride at 70, 80, 90 miles an hour. Ride comfortably to how you feel would be safe without getting distracted. Which brings us to our next point. Point number 4. Do not get inside your head. The minute you get inside your head is the minute you make mistakes. If you doubt your riding capabilities, if you kind of get in that that mindset that what you're doing might be dangerous, or even if you pull up a wheelie in it, like you get that that adrenaline shock and like it kind of scares you a little bit, that can really fuck with your head and cause you to fucking make mistakes riding, right? And it's when you make mistakes riding is when, unfortunately, let's say, and I fucking hate saying it, shit, this doesn't go through, that's when you go down, right? And nobody wants to go down. Going down, I've been down on my bike twice. I've been down twice total, and it is not a very fun experience. Like, the experience is fucking shit. It hurts. Given when I went down the first time, I was doing 35, 40 miles an hour and someone turned in front of me. That was kind of shitty. And then the second time I went down, someone tried pulling out of the carpool lane and ended up causing me to swerve around a car, and I was going too fast, which I fully admit that I was going too fast, and it caused me to rear end another car at about 50, 55 miles an hour. So that could have been handled a lot better, that situation, which is exactly what I was saying, you know, ride within your don't get inside your head. When I got in my accident, I had this channel already started, and I had a bunch of videos already up, and every video you would hear me say, you know, where I got hit, every video I would say, man, I need to fucking slow down because this is where people fucking act stupid and do dumb shit. And sure enough, I let that get inside my head, and sure enough, that's where I fucking got hit. Because, yeah, I mean, I was going too fast for the current conditions. Like, I shouldn't have been going that fast. I should have just been I should have been paying attention a little bit more. I should have been going a lot slower. But every day that I put that shit in my head, like, oh shit, this is where people are gonna fuck me up one day, it just gets to you. And then that day was a day that I wasn't paying attention. I A, wasn't riding within my fucking ability, and B, I got in my own head. And that's kind of where we fucking went awry. Is yeah, that sucked. And what sucks is even though I had my GoPro running and I sent the CHP the footage of the video, I was put 100% at fault in my accident because, yeah, they can tell by the video. I mean, you couldn't see my speedometer and how fast I was going, but you can tell. You can always tell. Even on the GoPro, you can tell how fast I was going, and it was not at a safe speed. I was going way too fast for traffic being fucking dead stop, and that's my fucking dumbass fault. So I lost everything, man. Like, I didn't have full coverage insurance. I only had liability. I lost my bike. I never got it back. The towing company did something fucking shady and they auctioned it off and never fucking sent me a notice saying that they were gonna fucking lien sale it. So I ended up just getting fucked all the way around. And my bike at the time when I got hit, I only had it for like 2 months, and you know, I'd paid up to $4 grand for my bike. I mean, I always buy used bikes because I'll buy them outright. But I mean, and it fucking sucked, man. Like, losing my bike, and I fucking was hurt to a point where I couldn't go back to work for like a week. So I was off for a week, and then that ate up my sick hours. It's a fucking shitty situation. So the point is, don't get inside your head when you're riding, and ride within your means. Which brings us to our 5th and final point. And keep in mind, guys, these are all my opinions, and these are all things that, as a rider, I think we should be looking out for. I mean, and it's not even for new riders, right? Like, we can all kind of like learn something by just listening and like really like looking at oh man, see, my fucking bike keeps slipping gears. Jesus. But we can all learn something from ourselves if we just really take a step back and look at how we're riding. So yeah, these are my opinions. These aren't things that are expected. These aren't things that I expect you to kind of follow or pay attention to, but they are things that, you know, if I would have just had this wealth of information when I started riding, I would have fucking like not taken it with a grain of salt. I would have been like, dude, that's some fucking good information. So back to point number 5, motorcycle safety course. If you're a new rider, or you're just starting to riding, or you're thinking about starting to get on a bike, I 100% recommend taking a motorcycle safety course in your area. The good thing about this course is not only will they teach you the basics of riding, the absolute basic bare fundamentals of riding, but they also teach you a lot of the most common things that you'll see on the road, the most common like pitfalls that we ignore or forget about while we're on a bike on the road. And they teach you a lot of cool shit, like I've never taken the course, but I've watched a lot of YouTube courses, people who took the course and posted that shit on YouTube. And even as an experienced rider, like, I keep trying to bring myself to just take it, just because I think it would be super beneficial. But one of the cool things that I saw in one of the California ones, motorcycle safety courses, is they teach you how to avoid like debris and obstructions, right? So like if there's a piece of fucking wood in the road, they teach you how to fucking avoid that shit, or what to do. And like shit like that, I would have never known how to avoid or how to counteract that shit. So I learned a lot of shit off YouTube just by watching these videos that people post. And maybe one day in my future videos I'll actually take the course and I'll record it and I'll give you guys a play-by-play, and it'll be fucking cool. I mean, I'm sure I'll have to get some kind of permissions and some waiver signed, but I think that would be pretty cool for you guys. So those are basically the 5 things I wanted to talk to you guys about. I don't really have too much on it. It's just one of those things where I felt like I needed to address it, because I have like a lot of people who I've known have gone down in the last year, and a couple of them were new riders. One of my best friends, when I got in my accident a few months later, he went down on his bike, and it's like, fuck, dude, like I wish I was able to teach him better. I wish I was able to give him these little tips and tricks. But, you know, he went down at like 90. And he never rode again. Like, he rides dirt bikes still, but he doesn't ride street bikes anymore. He just, I think it emotionally fucked him. So I'll never get to ride with my buddy again. So I hope you guys enjoyed our adventure today. If you guys like the content, go ahead and give me one of those big fucking thumbs up on the content for the video. And if you haven't done so, please subscribe, because this is a new channel and I'm still starting from scratch, and trying to get these views up and get more people to watch these things so that I can give you guys some cool content and things to watch that I think are cool and hopefully you think are cool. If you guys have any questions or comments, or you guys have shit to add to like things that would be beneficial to new writers, go ahead and leave that shit below, because you know, even though there's not a lot of views on my channel yet, people who do view it, I have a lot of, you know, friends and family who view these videos, they might find some of that shit really, really helpful, because I do have a lot of friends and family that ride. So I appreciate it, you guys. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed episode 4. Until next time, I'll see you on the street. Psycho, I'm out.